Yes, sir. We are live here at 32 Brew Street inside Sky River Casino for the Coach's Corner with head coach of Sac State football, Coach Brennan, Marion. We're getting ready for conference play, man. Big Sky conference play kicks off this Saturday night at Hornet Stadium as the Hornets take on Cal Poly, the Cal Poly Mustangs. And, of course, this is coming off a 45-16 victory this past Saturday at Hornet Stadium over Central Arkansas. Got my man, Coach Marion, with me. First of all, how you doing?
Awesome. Blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
We were able to listen to some music the last 2 weeks, huh? When I asked you before, after I think it was South Dakota, he's like, ain't no music being played.
Ain't no music.
We listened to a little something this week, huh?
Man, a little bit of this and that, but not too much. Trying to stay focused.
I get you. Nice win on Saturday, man. Once again, congratulations on that. You guys ended up getting up early, really quick. Did you have a good feeling with the way the week of practice went, that there was a possibility that this one could get out of hand early for you guys?
No, for us, really, it's just about being locked in, focused, playing to our standard. We really can't worry about what the other team is going to do or be about. We have to just have it as soon as we come out of the tunnel. We got to have that type of energy to go make plays, to limit the big plays, get explosives, take care of the ball, and take the ball away from the opposing team. And so our guys did a really good job this week of, as soon as they walked out of that tunnel, they were ready to play. Our coaches prepared our players, and our players did a good job of performing from the outset and not waiting until, the other team, did whatever they were going to do. We decided how the game would go.
I've heard you say a couple of different times watching Go-Go Football on YouTube, and you said you wanted games like you had on Saturday where everybody can get some run, and that's no disrespect to anybody or anything like that, but if you're able to get up by enough, everybody can get into the game. Were you able to get to that point in this game this past Saturday?
Yeah, I always tell our starters, it's the responsibility of our starters to make sure that if you really care about your teammates, it's kind of like, if somebody says they love you but they don't, provide opportunity for you, how much do they really got love for you? So, for our starters, I always tell them it's their responsibility to make sure that those younger guys and, some of their friends get an opportunity to play. If they do it the right way, if they come out there and take care of business like we did last Saturday early in the game, then those young guys, right, and some of the guys who, are down on the roster, they get an opportunity to go play in the game. And so that responsibility is a big deal. I always tell them, to whom much is given, much is required. And so our older guys, our starters, they have to do a really good job of making sure that everybody eats.
Yeah. Everybody Eats, B. Paid in Full, one of my favorite movies of all time. Do you feel like things are starting to click? Things are starting to come together for this group? We talk about the second half specifically against Mercyhurst, and then all four quarters on all three phases of the game this past Saturday against Central Arkansas. Do you think things are starting to click? Maybe the season is starting to slow down a little bit for these guys, and they're starting to find a groove?
Yeah, I mean, it really starts with up front on the offense and defensive line. We're playing at a high standard right now on the O-line and D-line, and it really provides opportunity for everybody else to get theirs and make plays. And, anytime you're playing really good football up front, Coach Ed and Coach K. Rich have done a really good job with those guys up front. And, if we can dominate people in the trenches, we'll have a really successful season. And so it really just starts from that format there of that's what we talked about all offseason long. That's what we recruited to. That's what we spent a lot of time developing, our O&D line, right? Obviously on the O-line we have some continuity of guys coming back and playing together for a while. But, just focusing on rule number one, and being tough guys up front on the offense and defensive side has given us opportunity to put teams away.
It really does come down to the trenches. I remember when I was young and my uncle, I love Dion, like I always talked about. I love Jerry Rice. I'm a Niners fan. So on the perimeter, the quote-unquote skill players, and Ricky Waters when he was the Roger Craig. And I'll be like, no, those are the guys. Those are the guys. My uncle told me, he said, Kenny, It's the trenches. You want to win games, you need to make sure that offensive line is fine and you can get to the quarterback and stop the run. It really does start with the trenches. Obviously, you need the other aspects as well. But when you're trying to get on the right track or you're maybe trying to settle a game down or take control of a game, you always look right there at those big guys on either side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that for us, if you watch the way that we practice, we have some physical and violent practices. And really, you know, the way that Coach Marion, our strength coach, he trains those guys differently up front. And we make sure that we can be violent and physical up front. And we've, proven that in every game. I thought the first game was the only game we really didn't prove how physical and violent we were up front from that perspective. But ever since then, we've showed that we're going to be a dominant team in the trenches. And then not only be dominant with the first unit of guys, but the second unit of guys, the next man up is still physical as well. And, I think as we continue to roll throughout this season, right, that'll be the one thing that'll be our calling card for the year.
Iron sharpens iron. You deal with that in practice when the first and second units are equally as competitive with each other and making each other better. That's some of the stuff that you get. I asked you at the beginning of the season about the pressure of expectations, and you talked about how you deal with pressure, how you view pressure, how you would like your players to handle pressure. But that's still you, right? There were still things that you had to teach them and show them along the way. Do you think some of the players were feeling that pressure early on in the season, the first few games of the season, and how have they adjusted to that potentially?
Yeah, really, I thought the only game that we really were, the moment might have been too big or we weren't, up to the standard was really game one. And really, and that was really only in one phase of the game. I thought offensively we just didn't come out with that killer instinct mindset to just go win the game and finish the game. For the rest of the year, I thought we had the right mentality that it takes to win games. We had the right type of focus and energy to do that. We didn't get it done, obviously, game two. Some things were out of our control in that, but the things that we controlled, I thought we did a pretty good job of. Obviously, we had that one turnover there that hurt us, but I thought we did a good job from the standpoint of being ready to play and being prepared. For me, I always tell the guys, the expectations and all that, it should be higher for yourself than anybody else has for you.
Right.
It doesn't matter what's going on the internet, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, whatever your social media source is. That's not really your determining factor. Your determining factor should be your why, the purpose in which you're doing things, your team, and, whatever your motivation is to be great at the sport. We've trained our guys 6-7 days a week since January, so we'll be ready for every moment. And if you look at every single game we played this year, when the fourth quarter starts, we have an opportunity to go win the game.
Absolutely. We're here live at 32 Bruce Street inside Sky River Casino out here in Elk Grove, talking to my main man, Coach Brennan Marion. It's the Coach's Corner Show as it's game week with Sac State football taking on Cal Poly, kicking off Big Sky play at Hornet Stadium. You'll be able to hear that live right here on ESPN 1320. Also, we'll talk about this a little later, tickets are still available. If you can, get out to the stadium, check these guys out. Weather should be great, all of the other stuff. Come on down to Hornet Stadium and check them out. Right now, though, we're just looking back at last week's 45-16 victory over Central Arkansas. And the week before against Mercyhurst, it was heavy on the ground game. This week against Central Arkansas, both the running and air game was cooking, 602 total yards of offense, 340 yards passing, 262 on the ground. This has to be the kind of balance attack that you kind of dream of when you orchestrated this offense, huh?
Yeah, really against Mercyhurst, our quarterback just got happy feet a few times on he had the ability to stand in the pocket and deliver some passes down the field for us. And instead he decided to, take off and run. And I said, me and Coach Merch did a really good job of just, quieting his feet down and letting him see the field. And the O-line is providing protection. It's your job to stay in there and deliver the ball to the receivers. And, I thought that he got a little more comfortable, standing in there being a drop back passer and delivering the ball down the field to our weapons. And if the weapons weren't there, finding the check down and our backs making plays in spaces and getting big catches off as well. So anytime you can be balanced like that, then a defense really doesn't know who to account for. Also, we're spreading the ball out to a multitude of guys. It's not just one guy dominating the ball. It's a lot of different guys getting touches. So now who do you key on when we're giving the ball to everybody?
Right. And you guys average 9.9 yards per play. That's wild. Coach, that's wild. That's dominant. 9.9, 10 yards per play. Let's just round it up there. Literally everything you were calling was working. As a play caller, when things are clicking like that, just want to get into your mindset. How do you choose whether you go pass or go run on some plays? Do you look at it like, hey, we've been in a good rhythm running the ball, let's get some confidence and some rhythm in the air? Or how does that, when everything's working the way it was on Saturday, how do you go about the play calling aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Pittsburgh guy at heart, so, I've always been hired by defensive coordinators to be an offensive coordinator in my past life. And that's because I believe in defense and running the ball. I believe in playing great defense and controlling the clock with the run and running the football. But also, the receiver in me loves the vertical shots and passing game. And, so we do a little bit of both, but we're always going to be a team that's going to try to establish the run. And, there's nothing worse as a head coach or, and you're standing there and you can't stop the run, right? All our defense talks about is stopping the run because there's no worse feeling than sitting there and just watching a team run the ball on you all day. And then you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You'll let a team dink and dunk down the field and they'll eventually mess it up, but there's nothing worse than, just standing on the sideline and not being able to stop the run. So we're always going to be about running the football and leaning on the run. But, eventually when they put 9, in some plays last week, they put 10 guys in the box, we'll throw it over their heads for an easy touchdown.
That's right. I've heard you talk a couple of times about this when you talk about the offense, the go-go offense, and I heard you again after the game on Saturday, talking about playing basketball on grass. You're talking my language now. I'm a hooper, coach. I'm a hooper. You're talking my language. But can you kind of elaborate on what that means to you, playing basketball on grass?
Yeah, it's really about just dominating the space of the field and not letting people account for, like when I play point guard, my basketball coach always said, like it's all about manipulating space and the spacing on the court and getting the ball distributed to multiple guys so the defense can account for who's going to get the ball, right? So you have a design set play, and then you freestyle, then you come alive, then you ad-lib, then the play within the play.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean when I say basketball on grass. It's not just robotic. It's not we have a really organic setup where if our point guard is playing well, our quarterback, and he's distributing the way he should, that we can spread the ball out to a lot of different guys, and we can manipulate the space of the defense, and we can put them in formations and things that really give us the advantage. And so our quarterback for the last 3 weeks now has done a really good job of playing basketball on grass and not just only handing the ball off to one guy or only throwing the ball to one guy. He's spread the ball around to everybody. I mean, everybody's gotten a touch who's been out there, the tight ends, the receivers, the fullbacks, the running backs, so that's one of the things in our offense that we're not trying to just let one guy, we're not a little league operation where one guy just gets the ball every play and we just lean on one guy. We want to make sure we lean on all our, assets and guys that can make plays and get them the ball.
I want to talk a little bit more about that quarterback position real quick because this is starting to become a weekly occurrence with Cardell, man. It's starting to become spooky hours for the opponents. Last week, 15 to 20, 252 yards in the air, a touchdown. This past Saturday, to go along with 8 carries, 66 yards, and 2 more touchdowns on the ground. He's looking more and more comfortable with each passing game. Is that the same thing that you're seeing as well with how he's starting to play that quarterback position?
Yeah, absolutely. Cardell came to us from Tulsa. I was very familiar with him. I recruited him in high school. I knew his offensive coordinator in high school. He's a Pittsburgh guy as well. So he told me about Cardell when he was like 15. And I knew that he had dynamic running ability. He was special from that standpoint. I think one of the biggest things that Cardell did to change his game was, first, the way that he trained was different in the offseason. And then 2, working with Coach Mertz to develop his drop-back passing game and develop his footwork to be able to, stand back in the pocket and deliver clean passes. And, he's just continually getting better. He's getting more and more confident and comfortable. And anytime confidence comes from demonstrated performance and getting those reps and getting live game reps. A lot of our guys, including Cardell, this is only their 4th or 5th start or 3rd start in college football, So these guys are getting more and more confidence as they actually play the game. Like it's the old Allen Iverson practice. We talking about practice or we talking about the game? You have to actually play in the game to get this type of momentum and feeling of being in the actual game, being in the moment, the ball being in your hands, people depending on you, the responsibility of that. And as Cardell continues to grow and, now he's more vocal with his voice and leading guys. So I'm excited about what it looks like with him, with the ball in his hands for the future of our program.
Now, Coach, I can talk offense all day long, but I want to show some love to the defensive side of the ball, man. These guys have probably been a little underrated by a lot of people in general over the first 4 games of the season. The last 6 quarters of play, though, specifically when you talk about the second half against Mercyhurst in the entire Central Arkansas game, they've shut the water off for the opposition. What do you have to say about that defense? Because they played some big-time football as of late.
Yeah, they're just following our casino rule. The casino rule is don't clock watch. When you're in there, you just got to keep playing and play to the standard, try to be your absolute best. We've got a lot of juice on the D-line, and in our rush room, Coach Vang has done a really good job with those young guys that we have. I mean, there's just a lot of guys that can make plays. I mean, our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd platoon of D linemen and edge guys can all make plays and get to the quarterback. But we told them the way that they'll get to the quarterback is by stopping the run. So if we stop the run and force the team to pass the ball to be able to be in the game, then we get a lot of opportunities to get after the quarterback. And so that's what those guys have done. Hats off to our defensive coordinator, Coach Patton, for putting them in a, advantageous position to get on the edges and play one-on-one game and make plays. But our guys have done a really good job of affecting the quarterback and making a lot of plays back there in the backfield.
Yeah, man, I want to talk some more about that defense, and we're going to do that as the show goes on. But we're just getting started here on the Coach's Corner with Coach Brennan Marion. We're here at 32 Bruce Street inside Sky River Casino. We're going to talk more about this matchup with Cal Poly, and I'll have a few more questions for Coach Marion. But up next, we're going to hear from a couple of the players from this Hornets football team. You're listening to the Coach's Corner show right here on your home of Sac State football, ESPN 1320. We're back here at 32 Bruce Street inside Sky River Casino for the Coach's Corner show here on ESPN 1320. Talking to Brennan Marion of Sac State football. We were talking to him earlier, but now we got a couple of the players here, man. Running back Rodney Hammond Jr. is joining us, and Kendall Riley. Sacramento's own left guard, Kendall Riley, rocking with us here on Coach's Corner. Let's start with Rodney, man. I want to ask you a couple of questions. First and foremost, you're from Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia.
Yes, sir.
I got to ask you what I deem a Virginia football question. Who's the best high school quarterback to ever come out of Virginia?
Michael Vick, the best quarterback to come out of Virginia, period. So.
All right. See, I thought you might say that. You're a little young, too, or whatever.
Who
Does
thinking?
anybody know out here who the best quarterback to come out of Virginia was?
I know. They talking about
they
AI.
know.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
they
go
know.
Vic, though. I go Vic, though.
Vic said it was AI.
Nah, I go Vic.
I'm not mad at that. Mike Vick, that was my dog, man. That was my dog. But I remember because AI was my favorite basketball player. They was like, nah, he was a better football player. They said he was cold as a quarterback growing up, and just stuff legends were made of, man. But, yeah, I had to ask that question. I had to ask that Virginia high school football question for you real quick, man. But you transferred to Sac State from Pitt, and I think you were like the first one, at least that I saw, that came. And I remember when I saw that come across the wire, I said, he coming from where? This running back of this quality is coming from Pitt to come here to Sac State. This doesn't happen. Kendall will tell you this before everybody, that don't happen. And I was like, oh, okay, we got something going on. He coming from the ACC to come here. Just put everybody on notice. How did all that go down? How did you go from Pitt to Sac State?
Honestly, when I jumped in the portal, I had a lot going on. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I got a call from Coach Marion. We was chopping it up, we was talking, and it ain't really take much because, like, me and his relationship, you feel me? Like, we really like family, so he had me, I ain't gonna lie. He had a up on all the schools.
You guys had a relationship dating back before college, probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
My freshman year at Pitt, he was the receivers coach.
That's right.
We built like a strong relationship, so we've been locked in there since then. So
It's all good, man. How you liking it so far? And when I say that, just Sacramento, man. How you like Sac so far?
it's different. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to get used to it because it's different from where I'm from. So
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it. I like it a little bit though. It's different.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And Sac State is a campus, different as well, I'm sure. But how you liking that?
Yeah, the campus is way different. It's like more of a college campus when you think of college campus. Because like Pitt, it was like everything all spaced out. It wasn't like a real college campus. So I get to experience like a real college campus. I'm proud of that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, talking a little football, these last two games, you seem to really find your groove. 19 carries, 122 yards, and a touchdown in the last two games. Are you starting to feel more comfortable with this offense with each passing week?
I'm just a player that get better every week. You feel me? So I feel like I could get better every week. So that's what I come out there and do. I'm gonna improve every game. So it's just getting started.
Yeah. And you and Damien have really started to get like this two-headed monster thing going on right now. Just you two out of the backfield. I don't want to say thunder and lightning because both of you guys are physical runners and you're fast, so it's almost the same. But would you classify you guys as having running styles that complement each other and keep defense off balance, kind of?
Yeah, I do feel like our running styles are like kind of similar, but we still got like different things that we're good at. But I ain't gonna lie, Dame gonna be good. He gonna be good. He gonna have a good college career. So.
And the thing about that I really enjoy watching, and I feel like I see when I watch you guys on the field, is there's no break for the defense. You know, usually just common nature. You guys know, sub came in, all right, well, it's not as good as the starter or whatever. That's not the case in that backfield.
Yeah.
Like you could be starting at a number of different schools as well and get the same amount of carries as the quote-unquote starter, and there is no break for the defense when you guys are in the backfield like that.
Honestly, Coach AC, Coach Doug, they prepare as well. I feel like everybody in my room can play, like anybody from the starter to the last person on the depth chart. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like we got a real strong room. We got a strong relationship on and off the field, so we help each other get better all the time. So, like, coming game day, we ain't gonna let each other down. So that's why we play so hard. So.
Absolutely, man. You scored a touchdown on Saturday against Central Arkansas, which happened to be your birthday. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday. So that was cool to see. Did you get a game ball for that?
Nah, I ain't get no game
ball.
ball.
Man, Coach didn't get him the game ball.
I don't care about no game ball.
He scored a
man. I wanted to
touchdown on
win.
his birthday. He didn't get the game ball.
That's cool.
It's all good. Well, you know what that means. You just got to score some more touchdowns. That's
I
all
got
that
you.
is. Yeah.
I got you, though. We're going to score some more touchdowns.
I
I'll get the game ball when we win the championship.
I'm with that. I could dig that, man. Kendall, man. What's going on? Sacramento Zone, man. It's Destiny Christian now, but I know it as Capital Christian.
Yes, sir.
Man, you're here in Sac State. Like we were talking about with Rodney a little bit, the buzz for Sac State, you know, growing up here, I can't remember it ever being like it was this year.
Yeah.
Is that something that being from here you take pride in, that you're kind of bringing a sense of energy to the city, to the region with being on this team?
I definitely, take pride in it. You know what I'm saying? People come up to me, they ask me, what is it like, and all those different things. But I think honestly, it's just work and dedication, kind of like what Coach Marion said. I feel like it was a long time coming. He was saying all these things before they were happening, and now they're happening. So,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's a surprise. It's not a surprise to us, at least.
Yeah, and we talked with Coach Marion earlier about the trenches.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ronnie and Damien, they get the glory. They're carrying the ball.
Right.
They get the numbers. But it's you guys up front, man, that are creating those lanes, creating those holes, man. Is it the same thing that I mentioned with Ronnie about playing more games, playing together a little bit more in this offense? You're starting to find your groove about what you want to do in the run game?
Yeah, when it comes to playing O-line, it's a chemistry thing. It's 5 of us, but we got to play on all one accord with one big hand. So I think it just takes time to feeling as you're starting to see points is coming together, our running backs is shining, and it's just being physical, like he said, and being tough and being together.
They give you the ball to get the spike every now and then. That's what I would do if I was a running back. I like when the running backs do that. They get them to the old line, man. Hey, man, spike this real quick. They ain't give you the ball yet?
We tried to do a celebration one time, but then our left tackle failed.
Hold on, though. What was the celebration?
We was going to do a tunnel for his birthday. He was going to get the picture, but it didn't work
Left tackle
out. So.
fell.
Hey.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's cold game, man. That's cold game. We're here at the Coach's Corner show here at 32 Brew Street inside Sky River Casino, man. I'm just talking a little bit with a couple of the players, man. Ronnie Hammond Jr., Kendall Riley, Sac State, and we're just trying to figure out what's next for this team. You guys have been so successful the last 2 games or so on the ground. Do you feel like there's more that you guys can do out there? We'll start with you, Rodney, as a running back, and Kendall as an old lineman.
I always feel like there's more that we can do. Like I say, we got a lot of games to play, so there's always more we could do. As long as we go 1-0 every day, every week, I feel like we'll be good. We working towards our goal at the end of the season. We know what it is.
Absolutely. Kendall?
I think when it comes to running the ball and just, like he said, it's always something you can do. It's always whatever it is, even if it's little, big, whatever it is, we just got to make sure we keep being physical and keep working every day.
A lot of up and down moments so far in this season, and it's only been 4 games. And some of these up and down moments are within games, right? Just, it's not like things have been bad, but just from the outside looking in, just emotional, whether it's coming into the season with a lot of attention on you guys, maybe some cases a lot of pressure on you guys, playing that first game, the way you guys maybe didn't play up to what you guys thought your standard was, but you were able to rebound, the way you competed against Nevada and having that tough loss, the first half against Mercyhurst, responding to that, just up and down. And then this past Saturday, Central Arkansas, you guys put it all together. Is the locker room starting to settle into a rhythm? It's just like, okay, we're in the season. We've gotten past the hype and all this other stuff. Now it's just about football. Do you think, Kendall, you think you guys have kind of gotten into a rhythm of the season, starting maybe this past Saturday?
I think for sure, like we're starting to come into it. I think everybody's starting to buy into the fact that this is a everyday, day in, day out thing. Like you said, we go 7 days a week. That's what it is. And we got to just buy in and just, we want to be champions. That's what it takes.
You feel the same way, Ronnie?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I feel like it's football. I mean, things going to happen. Times going to get ugly. It's just about how you respond. Like I said, we're a family, so I'd rather do this with my family. I'd rather go through something with my family and overcome it. So.
And that's one of the things I know Coach Marion was talking about early on. He's preached to you guys a lot about teammates becoming friends, friends becoming cousins, cousins becoming brothers. Do you guys feel like you're starting? I mean, you guys have spent a lot of time with each other over the past 7 months or so. Do you feel that brotherhood from each person on that team at this point?
I ain't gonna lie, I felt the brotherhood from January when we first got here doing workouts. We've been working. I ain't gonna lie, we worked real hard. So I've been feeling like we was like this, but like now the season here is bringing us more and more together. So like, I definitely feel it.
I think when it comes to, like he was saying, all the workouts, like we're not doing regular workouts. It's adverse situations every day. And I think over time, no matter what, that's going to bring us closer together because at the end of the day, all we got to depend on is each other in those times. You know what I mean? So.
Nah, for sure. And that's something that you guys can draw back on in the middle of games or in the season after a tough loss. Like the things that we've already been through as a group isn't any more difficult than what we're seeing right now. And we've surpassed that. We've gotten past any type of difficult practices or anything like that. And you can draw back on that in situations where you face adversity in the game or after games or anything else like that, huh?
Yeah, well, when it comes to that, too, I just feel like adversity is, like you said, it's part of football, and it's a big part of football, and it's what makes or break people in playing this sport. So I think just we got to keep overcoming adversity no matter how we face it or what it looks like, because like you said, we've already done it before, and we can surpass it every time.
Absolutely. Did both of you guys come back out and see DDG the other night?
I mean, I seen him for 10 seconds. It was my birthday.
You was out of there.
I don't care about that. I want to enjoy my birthday. I ain't worried about nobody else.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I just went and took a picture with my fam in front of the facility, and I got on too. I didn't even see it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was popping out there, man. They had a lot of people out there. I had a couple of people, and you know this, Kendall. The perception or the thought of Sac State in the city was kind of like a afterthought. It was like, okay, it's whatever, like Sac State, commuter school, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And that was the perception of it
Yeah.
before this year, before the last couple of years. And I had a couple of people who made their first time out to Sac State in a while, and they said, what's going on out here, man? All these people out here at Sac State, all these students. They told me, it was looking like HBCU.
Yeah,
That's what they told me.
Yeah, it's honestly, I remember I came to Sac State. The first game I ever went to was in 2017, and they played Western Oregon. And I ain't trying to bag on my school now, but
Yeah.
they did lose the game. But comparing it then to now, it's literally a whole 360. Like, you know, I can't even explain it. Like, I don't know. It's just a whole different feeling that we got going on now. So.
I could dig it, man.
Yeah.
And you guys are part of the turnaround, man. You guys are absolutely part of the renaissance in Sac State football and athletics in general, man. So you guys continue to do what you're doing. I see the work that you guys are putting in from afar, man, and it's starting to pay off, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Sir.
Rodney Hammond Jr., Kendall Riley, Sac State football, man. We're here at the Coach's Corner here inside 32 Bruce Street at Sky River Casino. We'll be here for another 20, 30 minutes or so. If you're in the area, stop by. We're going to talk to Coach Marion a little bit more about this game coming up this week against Cal Poly and just some of the stuff in general. I got some general football questions I want to ask him as well. We'll get into all of that. It's the Coach's Corner right here on ESPN 1320. We're back here on the Coach's Corner with Coach Brennan Marion here on ESPN 1320. Talking a little Sac State football. And, Coach, I see Rodney over there. Before he leaves, he needs to know, not this week because you got a game this week. You got to handle business. But during that bye week, Coach, we need to throw on that AI highlight film, man, the quarterback highlight film of Allen Iverson.
Yeah, Coach Reeman would be real upset, God rest his soul, that Rodney didn't know who the best, quarterback was. He's from Norfolk, though. So we'll help him out. He's not from Hampton or the beach, so we'll help him out.
Was it Newport News? Ain't that where AI was from?
Yeah, Newport News.
Yeah, we gotta.
Rodney from over there where the military base is at. He don't know.
No doubt. We got Coach Marion here as we get ready for the start of Big Sky play, start of conference play this Saturday, going up against Cal Poly. Cal Poly comes into the game 2-2, just like you guys are. They're coming off a 35-17 loss to SF Austin. What stands out to you when watching those guys on film?
Yeah, they have a really dynamic wide receiver, number 10. I think he leads the country right now in touchdowns. They do a really good job of getting him the ball. Their quarterbacks have been banged up, so they've played a lot of guys throughout the year. So we're kind of, and they got some dynamic guys that can make plays at quarterback. So we have to do a really good job of knowing who's going to be in the game and, account for them. And then defensively, they have some players that, really have some juice up front. Number 60, one of their D linemen. They have a guy in the back end, number 32, can really make plays and get after you, be physical as a safety. He plays like an old school safety. He comes downhill and creates a little havoc. So, and then obviously their coaching staff does a really good job of, scheme and getting those guys in a spot to make plays. So it'll definitely be a great matchup for us this week.
For sure, and just some of the things that I've seen from Cal Poly, that offense can be a little unpredictable sometimes. You talked about the quarterbacks and making sure you know who's in there. What's the key to keeping that defense disciplined in this game against Cal Poly?
Yeah, it always starts for us with stopping the run. I wouldn't say they're a run-heavy offense, but they can make explosive plays with the quarterbacks and, their quarterback run game stuff that they do and their jet sweep stuff that they use. So we have to do a really good job from that perspective of not giving them a chance to, get runs off. And then when they go to pass the ball, we have to affect the quarterbacks that are in there. We have to, put pressure on those guys, and we really have to cover up and know where number 10's at all times.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to stay with the defense just a little bit and give them some praise. Like I said, they've been, I feel, a little underrated this year with the way they've played. Even when you go back to the first game of the season, getting turnovers and the amount of sacks they had in that game. And when you talk about the sacks, you guys have the most in FCS with 20 so far on the season, but you guys, that's not it. You're number one in the nation in all of college football, FCS and FBS, with those 20 sacks, currently 2 ahead of the Oklahoma Sooners. You got to be proud of that, the way they get after the quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked to these guys all offseason about being our absolute best, trying to be the one, not one of the guys, but the guy. And any time that you can be at the top of a list and still be early in the season with a lot more opportunities out there left to play, I'm excited about the hunger of our guys to go get more, right? Nobody's satisfied in that room. It's a race to get to the quarterback. So it'll be a really good year from that standpoint of us continue to affect the quarterback.
And while we're talking about the defense, I got to give a big shout out to Dylan Hampton. This week's Big Sky Defensive Player of the Week, racked up 5 tackles. 3 of them were tackles for loss and 2.5 sacks in that game against Central Arkansas. You know, Coach, he's quietly put together a nice start to the season, man. How has he progressed during the early part of the season?
Yeah, Dylan does a really good job with his preparation. He's a guy that has a chip on his shoulder. He was a walk-on at San Jose State that earned a scholarship there and got a starting job, and then ultimately came to us from the transfer portal. And he's a guy who just wants to prove it every day that he gets the opportunity to be out there and play. And, just sky's the limit for him because he does have the right size and stature as he continues to build his body in the weight room in the offseason. That kid will really have a chance. I mean, he's still another guy who's a young guy. He has 3 years left to play. So, sky's the limit for where his career can go.
Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit more about this game on Saturday against Cal Poly. And like we mentioned earlier, you guys were cooking in that first quarter, running the ball, and that's what you've been able to really establish as of late. How important is establishing that momentum early, establishing to Cal Poly that, hey, we're on the ground. You better put your hard hat on. Bringing that message, bringing that type of intensity to the game. How important is that to start the game for you?
Yeah, we have a lot of sessions in practice where we tell the defense or we tell our scout team that there is going to be no throws here. We're only going to run the ball, and we want the other team to know that we're going to run the ball. I got a chance to play for a really good O-line coach when I was a player, Herb Hand, and he'd always say, call it over the loudspeaker, let the other team know we're going to run it right here. And that's really the mentality that we have. We want them to have to sell out to try to stop our run. And we want to make sure that even when the other team knows we're going to run it, that we're able to run the ball and run it effectively. And we've been able to do that moving forward these last, 3 games. I think we've been able to, when we say we're going to run the ball and the other team knows we're going to run it, we've been able to run the ball. And so anytime that, that's starting to become our guys' DNA and mentality, it's not just a coaching talk anymore or a coach's speech. It's what our players feel like. Coach, we can run the ball at any time.
Yeah, I like that. I like seeing that as a spectator, man, being able to run the ball. You mentioned it earlier about, to a certain degree, how demoralizing it is when you're on the other side of that, when you know they're running the ball the way they are and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It feels equally as good when you're the team that's able to do that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I still think we can improve on our tackling and be more violent when we, come alive on the ball carrier from a defensive perspective. But our guys are populating the ball. They're getting after it. They're gang tackling. They're pursuing to the ball with bad intentions. And we'll continue to do that. Like I said, I'm going to pride myself on making sure that our football program runs the ball and stops the run. And we can't do, that's the first tenet of our program when we talk about game planning and winning games.
Absolutely. It's the Coach's Corner here with Coach Brennan Marion, Sac State football at 32 Bruce Street inside Sky River Casino. Talking to Coach a little bit about what we need to see, what we expect to see on Saturday as they get started with Big Sky play against Cal Poly. Coach, I saw the clip the other day where you urged the city and the alumni to get out to these games, and you were right. You were right about that. In the group, and talking about Dr. Luke Wood, AD Mark Orr, and yourself, and everyone associated with the athletic department, they've done their job. The next step is to get the people to come out to the games. Do you kind of want to touch on that a little bit more and a little bit more in depth about the importance of getting people out to these games, man? Because everything is in place for this city to embrace this team and embrace this university and the football team.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to disrespect anybody when I said that. It was more so of support of the president who has poured his heart into the university and trying to create a dynamic atmosphere. I told him what a dynamic atmosphere looks like, and he's created that atmosphere for our fans. And so, if you come to our game, there's something for everybody. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you have little kids, if you're a young, hip couple, I mean, there's something for really everybody there. I mean, there's not that game experience. I mean, we've had flyovers, we got fireworks shows, we got concerts, we got jump houses, bounce houses out there. We got all types of stuff going on to create a really good atmosphere, and it'd be great for the city of Sacramento to enjoy that. And it doesn't have to be about if we're playing Penn State or USC. It's Sacramento's team. Enjoy the Sacramento environment. It doesn't have to be about wins and losses. It's an opportunity for you as your family to come out and enjoy an experience with your family and get to watch a little bit of football and get to, meet new people and create new connections and build on what we're trying to accomplish. It takes the support of the people before, like I always say for any vision to come true, you have to believe it before you see it. Everybody here wants our president just snap his fingers and we're, at the standard of USC and Oregon, but how about you help the president get there by showing up, by supporting the team, by being all in before you see it happen, because he is doing everything possible to make sure our program is a national brand. And ever since I've been here, all I can do is sing that man's praises from the standpoint of he's put all his chips in on saying that he's going to get us to a national branding standpoint. If you got a chance to travel and you wear a Sac State hat now, I was in Mexico. I've been on the East Coast. Our coaches go all over the country to recruit players, and everybody thinks Sac State is the biggest school on the West Coast right now. You would think that we were USC or Oregon by the way that people support us when we go other places. I'm like somebody asked me for my autograph in Mexico about our team, about Sac State.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we go viral every week for some different social media thing, and we don't have enough fans out there supporting us, and that's just a challenge to Sacramento. I know it's a prideful city. I know that they show up for the Kings regardless of the record, regardless if they're playing the Lakers or not. They show up, and so let's show up for the Hornets and support your team.
I'm with you on that, Coach, and I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you or I support Sac State. It really is a good time out. It's a good time out, and I thought it was key that you touched on that there's a little something for everybody there, whether you're, like I said, a college student or you're on a date or you just like football or you want to bring the family out there. It's a good time out, and being from here and seeing what it was 10 years ago, and if that's the memory that people have of going to a Sac State football game, it is completely different than what you may have thought of growing up in this city. And yeah, if you can, come on out, man. Come check it out for sure.
No doubt. I mean, it's a great Saturday night. You're going to see a quality brand of football, and you're also going to get to experience a lot of different things. My son and my family are at games. We have to get like a security guard for my son for all the running around he's doing, trying to be involved in every little thing that's going on out there. And so I'm proud of all the people who stepped up and supported and showed the love for our team. And I just challenge more people to bring a friend and, bring a family member and bring a little bit more people out there.
Yeah, man, and you never know. You might see Coach on stage with DDG.
Absolutely. Shook his hand last week. I really didn't, I know he posted that everybody showed up for him, but, I think they showed up for the game as well.
They absolutely showed up for the game as well. They absolutely showed up for the game. That was really cool, too, to see, man. I was telling Mark and Andy, I was like, this is crazy to see. Like, the environment, the atmosphere that you guys have helped create at this school was something we hadn't seen before, man. So that was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Shockey and CJ. They're the director of all the nonsense. They get all the extra stuff and everything that the kids like. They make sure that we have a really good environment for them.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So your first Big Sky game coming up this Saturday at Hornet Stadium, 6 p.m. If you can, come on down to Hornet Stadium, man. It's going to be a good game, I think. And I think you guys are playing some really good football. So I think the home team is going to put on a good show. So I can't wait to see that, Coach.
No doubt. Bring your friends, bring your family, show up, support the guys. They deserve it. They've worked really hard. And we look forward to putting on a show for the city of Sacramento.
Absolutely. And if you can't get there, you can listen right here. ESPN 1320 starting at 6 p.m. We've got Cal State, Sacramento University going up against Cal Poly in Big Sky competition. I can't wait for the game. I can't wait to see how this plays out. They're coming to Hornet Stadium. We got to protect home court, or home field, excuse me. And I think it's going to be a good show, man. Can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. Stingers up.
Stingers up, baby. We will see you guys next week. Coach's Corner with main man, Coach Brennan Marion. Stingers up.